Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Gonna be giving you a preview for the Southampton Manchester United game. It's on Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff at St Mary's. Now I think this is going to be a close game. We've recently been in good form. We've won our last 3 games in a row in all competitions. And Southampton, they're in very good form. They're unbeaten in their last 7 matches. And they've got the second best home record this season. Southampton are currently sitting 5th in the Premier League, so that's good to their standards. They've registered 17 points from their opening 9 games. They recently drew 1-1 with Wolves. Now, the fixture at St Mary's last season was 1-1. The game at Old Trafford last season was 2-2. Southampton have got a good manager in Ralph Hasenhüttl. I credit him for the way he's turned them around. Now, Southampton have got good players. One of their key players is Danny Ings. The good news is, from a Manchester United perspective, he's not going to be available for Sunday because he is out with injury. Nathan Redmond, he's also another good player for Southampton. Nathan Redmond's also out with injury. Stuart Armstrong's good for them. They've got Obafemi. He's quite good. They've got Theo Walcott. They got him on loan from Everton. They've got that Salisu. They've got Che Adams. They've got Romeu. He's another good player. They've got Kyle Walker-Peters. They've got Ryan Bertrand, who I like a lot. They've got that Vestergaard. So, yeah. And Southampton have let quite a few players go in recent years. Obviously, they let Charlie Austin go. He's now at West Brom. They also let Cedric Soares go. He's now at Arsenal. They let Holberg go. I think he's at Tottenham. They let Mario Lemina go out on loan. Obviously, in recent years, Liverpool have bought quite a few players from Southampton. Obviously, Southampton lost Virgil van Dijk to Liverpool. They lost Sadio Mane to Liverpool. They lost Adam Lallana to Liverpool. They lost Dejan Lovren to Liverpool. They lost Nathaniel Klein to Liverpool. So, there you go. Now, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to make some changes from our 4-1 win against Istanbul Başakşehir recently. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is hopeful that Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Eric Bailly and Paul Pogba will be fit for this game. Now, Wan-Bissaka went off against Istanbul Başakşehir with an ankle problem. Victor Lindelof, he's had a problem with his back. Bailly, he's just recently recovered from a muscle injury. And Paul Pogba, he's been out with a ankle problem. So Paul Pogba didn't play any part against Başakşehir, and he didn't play any part against West Brom, did he? Now, obviously, we know Luke Shaw's out with a hamstring injury. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Phil Jones is still injured, and Jesse Lingard is still self-isolating because he come in contact with someone with COVID-19. Lingard doesn't regularly get in the team anyway. Now, I want Donny van der Beek to start this game against Southampton. If he does start this game, it will be his full Premier League debut for the football club. Now, Donny van der Beek has actually been getting his chances in Europe. He started against Istanbul Başakşehir, and I thought he was very, very consistent. You know, he was playing in a deeper role. I think that's his predominant position. Donny van der Beek can play in like 3 different roles. You know, you can play him as box to box, you can put him in the number 10, and you can also put him on that right. We put Donny van der Beek in the number 10 against RB Leipzig. Didn't we? Now, Donny van der Beek did reveal during the international break that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told him to be patient and wait for his opportunities. We paid £40 million for him from Ajax. Now, I want Edinson Cavani to start this game against Southampton. If Edinson Cavani does start, it will be his full Premier League debut for the football club. Edinson Cavani made his first start for the club against Istanbul Başakşehir. And he was very, very good in that game because he held up the ball well. Some of his link-up play was good. And he made some good runs. Edinson Cavani made an impact when he came on against West Brom in our last league game. He obviously scored his first goal for the football club in our 3-1 win against Everton. And he almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea earlier on in the season. We got Cavani on a free transfer. Cavani signed a 2-year contract with Manchester United worth around 230 grand a week. And he currently wears that number 7 shirt. Now, Bruno Fernandes, he'll start this game because obviously Bruno Fernandes is undroppable. Bruno Fernandes is definitely Manchester United's best player. He's one of the best signings we've made since Alex Ferguson's retirement. Bruno Fernandes did score 2 goals against Istanbul Başakşehir. He obviously scored the retaken penalty in the 1-0 win against West Brom in our last league game. He also scored twice against Everton and got an assist. Fernandes has 21 goals in 35 games for Manchester United, and I think he's provided around 15 assists. Now, a lot of his goals have come from the penalty spot. Bruno Fernandes has been at Manchester United now for almost a year. We paid €55 million for him from Sporting Lisbon. €55 million equates to around 47 million in pounds sterling. And Fernandes is under contract with Man United until 2025. Reflecting on his good performances, he won Premier League Player of the Month last season a couple of times. Also won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award. Now, Solskjaer's come out and said that Bruno Fernandes does need a rest. But it would be difficult to see how Manchester United would cope without Bruno Fernandes in the team. Because disregarding Bruno Fernandes, I think we'd be in a worse position than we are already in. We're currently sitting now, 10th in the Premier League, and we know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Now, I think Marcus Rashford, he'll start this game against Southampton. I actually hope that he starts on the right. Marcus Rashford started on the right against Istanbul Başakşehir, but he don't really play on the right, does he? He has played a lot on that left-hand side. Marcus Rashford scored from the penalty spot against Istanbul Başakşehir. He also got an assist against Everton. He also scored a hat-trick against RB Leipzig. Became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. Also scored late on against Paris, second time he'd done that. And he scored a few goals in the league this season. There's been a couple of games where Rashford has looked a bit off the pace. He weren't so good against West Brom because he wasn't fully fit. He just recently had a shoulder problem. And reflecting on that, he missed in one of England's games. Rashford's definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. Rashford's been part of the club for several years. A few weeks ago, he turned 23. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. But Rashford is more effective out wide than he is centrally, put it that way. Now, Anthony Martial, I think he'll play in this game against Southampton. Martial was obviously playing on that left-hand side against Istanbul Başakşehir. Martial put a very good performance out against Başakşehir. That was probably his best performance of this season. Now, prior to the Istanbul Başakşehir game, Solskjaer was talking about Anthony Martial. He basically explained why, Martial's been struggling this season. That was because of the 3-match suspension that he had in the Premier League. Martial did get sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, but in reality, he shouldn't have been sent off. So yeah, if we do start Martial, I think we need to put him on that left-hand side because he's more effective out wide. But he has played a lot centrally, and he was very good centrally last season. Martial was also very good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so now at the football club. We got him in a deal worth like £57 million from Monaco back in 2015. But yeah, that's Man United's new front three: Martial, Rashford and Edinson Cavani. And obviously Greenwood would be involved. Rashford and Greenwood would obviously, keep changing, wouldn't they? Mason Greenwood, he could be involved in this game against Southampton. He may start, he may not, I don't know. But Greenwood didn't start against Başakşehir, but he did come off the bench and obviously got an assist and had some good goal-scoring opportunities. Now, we've had quite a few issues with Mason Greenwood this season. Obviously, he's had personal issues. He's had, obviously, injuries in that. He's been out with illness. Solskjaer's been defending Mason Greenwood in recent weeks. But I think Mason Greenwood's definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. This is his second season in our senior squad. He did well last season in his first season in our senior squad. At the start of this season, we're giving that number 11 shirt. He's the fourth Man United player to wear that number 11. Greenwood's got a contract with the football club until 2023. He's very effective on that right-hand side. You can play Greenwood centrally as well. Fred, I think he'll play in this game against Southampton. Fred is undroppable, reflecting on his good performances. Fred has been very good under Solskjaer. I like the way he's dictated the play. He showed good attacking intent. His defensive contributions also been good. We paid like £47 million for Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk, didn't we? Fred's got a contract with us until 2023. Now, McTominay, do you think he could be involved? McTominay didn't play any part in the game against Istanbul Başakşehir. I actually don't know why. Nemanja Matic, I don't see him starting this game against Southampton. Matic, surprisingly though, started our last league game against West Brom, maybe because that was because Paul Pogba was unavailable. Matic came on against Başakşehir. Matic has actually lost his place in the team, and I haven't been too happy with him this season when he has played. Matic sure did have some good games towards the end of last season. Was it at the start of this season he signed a 3-year deal with Man United? He's enjoyed a good 3 years or so now at the club. We got him for like £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Now, Alex Telles, he will be starting this game. I was very, very impressed with Alex Telles against Istanbul Başakşehir. Showed some very good attacking intent. Made some good overlapping runs. He was also very, very good on his Premier League debut against West Brom. And he was also good on his Champions League debut against PSG. So Sunday's game will be Telles' 4th appearance in all competitions. And I think it will be his second appearance in the Premier League. He's going to be a very good signing for Man United. We got Telles for like 15.4 million with add-ons included, and he signed a 4-year contract with Man United. Williams is also an option at left back, but he won't start the game. Williams has actually lost his place in the team now. Williams did come on though against Istanbul Başakşehir. Williams is obviously now our 3rd choice left back following the arrival of Telles. Harry Maguire, he'll be one of the centre halves against Southampton. Harry Maguire has really, really impressed me recently. He's been very effective in the air. He's made some good blocks. He's looked very composed at the back. Harry Maguire did have early season troubles because he had that incident in Greece before the start of the season. He obviously sustained a few knocks and he got sent off in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark, did Harry Maguire. He's our current captain and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. We got him in a deal worth £80 million. Now, Victor Lindelof, like I said, if he's available, he'll be the other centre-half. He should be available though, Victor Lindelof. If he wasn't to be available, then I think Axel Tuanzebe would come in, wouldn't he? Now, Victor Lindelof, I think he's enjoyed some good games this season. But I've still got reservations about him. He's enjoyed a lot of bad games at Man United. He's nowhere near on the same level as Harry Maguire. That's what, really concerns me. Victor Lindelof's enjoyed a good 3 years or so at the football club. We got him from Benfica for around £31 million back in 2017. Obviously, right back on Wan-Bissaka, if he's to be available. Solskjaer's expecting him to be available anyway. And Wan-Bissaka's enjoyed some good games this season. He's also enjoyed a couple of bad games. But in the games he's played well in, he's showed good attacking intent. He's put some good crosses into the box. That's improved. He's putting good crosses in. His defensive contribution's been good. Defensively, he's always been good anyway in general, hasn't he? This season is Wan-Bissaka's 2nd season at the club. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Palace in the summer of 2019. De Gea, he should remain in goal for the game. De Gea, to be honest with you, has really, really impressed me this season. He's made some very, very good saves. There's some games, though, where he hasn't really had much to do. David De Gea's been long servant at the club. This is his 10th season at Manchester United. De Gea has made over 400 appearances for Man United in all competitions. He's made over 300 appearances in the Premier League. He's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's won individual awards reflecting on his good run of performances. when De Gea does leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain. Main explanations is because he was born in Spain, his relatives are from Spain, his girlfriend's from Spain, and he began his footballing career in Spain with Atletico Madrid. And back in 2015, he was close to joining Real Madrid on deadline day, but due to a fax machine, his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise, did it? But David De Gea has got no intentions of leaving Manchester United. Dean Henderson. Now, he hasn't played yet in the Premier League this season. He has obviously played in the Carabao Cup games. Made his Champions League debut against Istanbul Başakşehir in Turkey. Solskjaer was talking about Dean Henderson prior to the Istanbul Başakşehir game, and he said that Dean Henderson wants to stay at Manchester United, and he said he wants to play for Manchester United. There's obviously been rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan in January, hasn't there? And he actually said that Dean Henderson wants to go out on loan in January. Main explanation is because he wants to become England's #1 goalkeeper, and Dean Henderson is second choice goalkeeper at Man United. But I think at some point he will become our #1. You know, Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him. Because Dean Henderson endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, did well. He's had other loan spells, you know, he was on loan at Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. We got him at the age of 14, so he has been part of the club for several years, Dean Henderson. And at the start of this season, or should I say just before the start of the season, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth 120 grand a week. So there you go. Now, Juan Mata, I don't think he'll start this game. Could possibly be involved, maybe, but I don't see him starting. But surprisingly, Juan Mata has started quite a few games in the league this season. He's had some good games this season, Juan Mata. You know, he did well in both of our Carabao Cup games against Luton and Brighton. Got man of the match for both of them games. He was also good against Chelsea. He was pretty good against Newcastle. But he weren't great against Everton. He weren't great against West Brom because he started against West Brom. And he weren't that good against who was the other match that I played? He wasn't good against Everton. He weren't that good against West Brom. And he weren't that good against Istanbul Başakşehir either. That's the other one, I think. My element of concern about Juan Mata, he's now lost that yard of pace. He's 33, 34 now. Mata's endured a good 6 years or so at the club. He's had a good career at Man United. He's scored 50 goals in all competitions, and he's made over 200 appearances for the club. We got Juan Mata from Chelsea for £40 million back in 2014. Earlier on this season, he rejected an $18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Now, Daniel James, I don't think he'll play against Southampton. I can almost assure he won't start. Daniel James didn't start against Başakşehir, but obviously came off the bench, and he was the one that scored our 4th goal. To be fair, he did make an impact when he came on. Daniel James has actually lost his place in the team, and prior to the Başakşehir game recently, he's been out of form this season. But despite his lack of playing time, Daniel James has come out and said that he is still happy at Manchester United. We got Daniel James in June last year. We got him in a deal worth £18 million. So yeah. But if we do beat Southampton on Sunday, it will be our 4th win in a row in all competitions. It is a must-win game for Manchester United. It really, really is. Now, reflecting on our last 3 games that we've won, a lot of pressure has eased off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could still be Manchester United manager in the new year. Obviously, there's been a lot of talks of Mauricio Pochettino becoming Manchester United's next manager because he's obviously been the favourite to take over. Obviously, Massimiliano Allegri, he's been on our agenda. Julian Nagelsmann, he's also another manager that's been on our agenda, but it wouldn't really solve a lot if we sacked Solskjaer because not all of the blame stems from him. Obviously, there's been a lot of problems with the board at the club for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been, and obviously the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Alex Ferguson retired. And certainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not been backed enough at the football club because we missed out on all of his priority targets during the summer transfer window. Didn't we? And there's still players at Manchester United that we do need to offload because there is still deadwood in the squad. I think next year we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Phil Jones. We're looking to get rid of Marcus Rojo. We're looking to get rid of Sergio Romero because Sergio Romero is now our third choice goalkeeper. We're looking to get rid of Matic because Matic has lost his place in the team. A lot of United fans are expecting Paul Pogba to leave next year. Juan Mata could also leave. Daniel James could leave. There's been rumours of obviously Brandon Williams going out on loan. But if Solskjaer is at Man United in January, he's obviously got to decide on what players he's going to bring in January, and he's got to decide on what players he's going to get rid of. To be fair, though, I think Solskjaer's got a good idea what players he's going to get rid of. Now, I think Manchester United need another 4 or 5 signings. I really, really do. I think we definitely need a centre-half, and we also need a right winger. They are the 2 priorities. Obviously, Woodward came out the other week and said Manchester United remain absolutely committed to Solskjaer despite our poor start to the season. Like I've already gone through with you, there's issues that Solskjaer needs to solve at Man United. He's obviously got to solve the Paul Pogba issue. He's got to solve the Paul Pogba issue, yeah. He's got to identify his best 11, because I don't think Ollie knows his best 11. The lineup we went with against Besiktas, like I recently mentioned, that was one of our best 11. If we'd have put Pogba there instead of Fred, that would have been our strongest 11, I'd say. Solskjaer's got to select the right formation. He has gone a lot with the 4-2-3-1 formation, but in like the big games, he's gone with the 3-5-2. A few times as well, Ollie's gone with a 4-3-3 formation. You know what I mean? The main explanation why Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he is a club legend, and reflect on that, our board have softened their stance on him. If it had been any other manager, I think they would have been sacked by now. United fans have got different perceptions on Ole. Some United fans think he deserves more time, and there's still some United fans saying that, he's not good enough to manage the club and he's not the long term for Manchester United, But he's going to remain Man United manager for this present time, obviously. This is his second full season at the club. He's been in charge of Man United now for almost 2 years. Next month is his 2-year anniversary at the football club. He's under contract on Man United until 2022. Isn't there? So obviously, if we do sack him before his contract expires, then obviously we're going to have to pay to get rid of him. It'd probably cost the club around £4 or £5 million. Wouldn't it? But like I said, Solskjaer for me, he's not the right manager for Man United because he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. You know, Manchester United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not big. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was disastrous. He enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. The main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated, didn't he? But reflecting on how long he's been at Man United, you can say he's learned quite a bit and he's obviously gained managerial experience. And he's managed over 100 games for Man United in all competitions, you know. But if we could finish in the top four this season and if we could win a trophy, then that would represent a very, very good season for us, and then that would give us something to build on, wouldn't it? We've been inconsistent now for like the last 8 years. Obviously, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. We've obviously sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. We've spent over £1 billion in the last 8 years on players, and we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. You know, the club's only won 4 trophies since Ferguson left. So, there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.